Welcome to AmityCast. My name is Ellis.
I'm Matthew. Got you, bro.
What?
I was gonna say like a funny joke, but I can't think of anything funny.
All your jokes are getting kind of old.
Like the Suicide Squad?
No, like old 2021. Speaking of 2021, we're going to talk about two movies in from 2121
Wait,
today.
I can see your face?
I'm not warmed up yet. It's all good.
You're not warmed up yet?
No.
I'll warm you up.
So today we're talking about The Suicide Squad from James Gunn.
I love Suicide Squad. It came out a few years ago, didn't it?
M. Night Shyamalan's Old, so... Spoiler warning for both. Spoilers. I assume, right? We're gonna bring up spoilers.
People do grow old in the film, and people do commit suicide. In a squad fashion.
I don't think anybody commits Suicide Squad.
Actually,
yeah.
Actually? Wait, people actually do?
Well, it's because like they try to escape and the thing blows up. Which means they knew that they were gonna blow up, but they still did it. So they kind of killed themselves.
Oh, so they're heroes.
They're heroes?
Villains are heroes? It's not like the main concept of it.
There's a weasel.
Weasel was the best character.
He killed 27 children.
Spoiler warning. Be sure to subscribe, even if you hate it. Just subscribe, just because. You can always unsubscribe later, so it's fine.
No, don't unsubscribe. I need your money.
We don't make any money from this.
This is how my family's surviving.
But how did you feel about The Suicide Squad from James Gunn?
First off, dumb title. Suicide Squad. Oh, the sequel, The Suicide Squad. Oh, what was the first one? Just a Suicide Squad?
It's not a sequel. It's a retcon.
They never outright say it though.
Well, no, but
it feels like it, but like they never say it. It's weird.
I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. I was very unexpected. I didn't know what to expect.
What were your thoughts on the first film?
On Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Ruined by the studio.
It was so bad. Ow. It was so bad. It was awful. There's very little in it that I enjoy. I enjoy like the little like effects of like when like the demon chick like she like goes over and like her hand like flips over and like it
2
changes.
seconds out of like an hour and 40-minute film.
Yeah. The rest of it, no, that's a no-go for me.
Hey.
Joker was really bad.
Could have been good.
In fact, the entire script was pretty terrible. There was like no chemistry between any of the actors and actresses.
I'm sure there's probably 5 minutes of film that was just on Harley Quinn's ass, just her walking for some reason.
She had a nice ass.
Thanks for your input.
We got Tommy's thoughts. That's good.
Tommy likes women ass in front.
I mean, a whole man ass is pretty.
Overall, 2016 Suicide Squad was terrible. I think
give it like an 8 out of 10.
There's not much in it that I enjoy, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Basically,
haircut.
I gave it a 2 out of 10 on IMDb.
You really did?
Yep.
I haven't seen it in years, but it was fine. No, it was. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't really hate it. It was just kind of a movie that was bad. Excuse me?
Well, I hated it because
you hate everything?
There was a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential with the characters. I do love the Suicide Squad like comics, and I love the characters involved. But the movie was just But James Gunn, writer and director of this new one from 2021. How'd you feel about his direction?
I mean, he did Guardians of the Galaxy, which I enjoy.
Yeah, he did both of them, right?
Pretty good directing this one. A lot of good different techniques.
Yeah, I think visually this
shots.
one looks really good.
There were some weird things.
Cinematography
they had like weird title cards, and it's like they were kind of cool, but like a lot of them felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
And like
with the 8 days earlier or 3 days earlier, then it was like now. Like, okay,
like,
I didn't
Starro
know
versus the Suicide. I was like, it's cool, but like, why?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous overall.
And like when they would cut to something, be like, meanwhile, Harley Quinn, and it's like, what?
But the script was much better.
Yeah, I mean, like it wasn't like perfect or anything, but like far more enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a lot more flow and structure.
It was also rated R, which was good for a movie called The Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Being R-rated definitely let it kind of just go and be a little more free with it. But
ended up bringing back like
they're able to embrace the characters a lot more.
They only brought back like 3 actors from the first one, which were like the best people.
Yeah,
and it's like they always imply that like a previous like they know each other, but like never like talk about the first movie.
It's really weird.
And it's like, did the first movie happen? Because like it doesn't get brought up at all.
Also, I thought it was funny because Pete Davidson, isn't it? And like he's like listed in the opening credits, like after his character's already dead.
Oh yeah, because they had all the actor credits. And, like, half of them were dead.
It was like, okay.
I mean, all the like the first like the beginning was kind of cool because like you kind of knew that like they were gonna just die.
Right, because you knew
Except,
how it
of
was
course,
gonna
like,
go because you knew this wasn't the team that was advertised in all the marketing. So.
And also like the arm fall off boy, like he was literally just a joke.
Yeah,
but it was funny at first. It was like that's a superpower.
I mean, yeah, it was fine. I don't know. I think some people have been acting like this movie is like a masterpiece. And, like, I know
like
that,
100% for a few days.
Yeah, for a while it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and, like, a lot of other, like, sites have been giving it, like, incredibly... It's very enjoyable. Enjoyment factor is through the roof on this one, actually. Most of the comedy's pretty good. It's not, like, hilarious, but they do a pretty good job with most of it. Overall, I enjoy a lot of the characters and their chemistry. The performances weren't incredible. John Cena wasn't, like, great, but I think, like, he did fine. I guess.
All the acting was pretty solid.
Yeah. I don't know who played the rat girl, but she was like fine. She was just kind of stale in some parts, but overall,
yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, incredible voice acting.
Yeah, they made a big deal out of his casting, but it's like
Bird.
It's almost hard to tell.
Yeah, especially since he says like 6 words. He says like friend, bird, hand,
and like
that's about it.
He's like friend, and then nobody wants to be his friend.
Oh, hungry. That's another one.
And
there's one where he makes a little peacemaker, and he's like,
Peacemaker.
Yeah, peacemaker. And then John Cena's like, that looks nothing like me. It's not invisible at all.
He's like, that's very nice, but it looks nothing like me.
And then he like is an asshole in the end for some reason.
Yeah, the Peacemaker character's so weird.
Getting a TV show.
Yeah, you're getting a spin-off show. What?
Bird.
Hand.
A what?
I love Jaws. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah, it should just
go
back.
Should we do our first like 10, but all in face game?
No, we shouldn't. Just go back a couple and check out the Jaws one. We actually have images there, which is way better than this.
Images? What do you mean? It's all more personality.
I have no personality.
Everybody has personality.
Except personality, man.
I have no personality now that I didn't have a personality.
So about the fact that there was a movie that came out this year with a guy called Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man was a great character. One of my favorites, honestly.
The weird bit, like, I kept seeing his mom. There's actually a really good line where he's like, I can't kill people unless I imagine them as my mother.
Right, and then later on, they're like, where's your mom now? And he's, like, everywhere. And then it, like, cuts, like, every character being his mom.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. Because he hates his mom so much.
Hey, Tammy watches this. Oh, lives on... It's fine. Nobody knows who Tommy Hall is.
Shut up! What do you want? Why would you do that?
Tommy A. Hall.
Shut up! I deliberately didn't get in front of a face cam for a reason.
It's just a nice old day in Iowa.
We should really not do face cam ever again. I just feel like this won't be as marketable.
Your pretty little face. No, what we'll do is... Because the images will load on YouTube, but this won't. So the thumbnail will be like the actual thing, and then the rest is just Ellis. Oh yeah, Ellis, by the way, that's his name.
I say at the beginning of every single one.
You do?
I say my name is Ellis.
Hi, my name is Ellis. And then you're like,
no, it actually says.
Matthew.
And then you're like,
It says, "Welcome to AmityCast. My name is Ellis. Welcome to the Suicide Squad." There actually wasn't any good lines this one. They never said it was some sort of type of Suicide Squad. They actually have written stuff.
Well, they said like that's suicide. Like that's kind of our thing.
Which was fine.
The dialogue was so much better in this one. In fact, the dialogue overall was pretty good. I think it was pretty well written. I mean, like I said, not every performance was really great to me, but I mean, Idris Elba was fine.
He was kind of just Will Smith.
Idris Elba was just kind of weird. He was in like Hobbs and Shaw. He was in Cats like willingly.
He's a fine actor. He's kind of just.
Cats with the buttholes.
That's on air. You want the butthole cut?
Yeah.
Actually,
Did you watch
that was like a meme for a while.
Because it actually was a thing.
Yeah.
They had the buttholes originally.
That movie should have never existed.
It
I
should
just remember Cinema Sins being like, cats are proud of their buttholes. Put this out.
They are. Have you ever had a cat?
Yeah.
You has a cat.
Yeah.
Tommy has 17 cats
I have one cat.
on this approximate street.
And there's like
Thomas.
7 other ones in his house.
Yeah, his cat's name's Thomas, by the way.
There are exactly 4 white privilege / one-eyed Willie.
Man, he's really doesn't care about his identity anymore.
By the way, Tommy has a cat that's called White Friblet.
/ one-eyed Willie. Because one of his eyes doesn't open.
But anyway, let's get back to the movie.
No, more important, let's talk about
The humor was pretty decent. Like, I didn't laugh at everything, but like there was some good.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, they did a good job with like a lot of character humor. I think they did.
I really like Starro. which is cool.
The whole like Project Starfish thing was actually it was a bit more understandable, like antagonist wise. I don't think it was great. There were a lot of things in this movie that like were good, but they didn't quite reach the level of great for me. It's like it's solid.
It was really weird. They gave like a last minute like line to like make you empathize with the starfish, and like it really worked for some reason.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I forgot the line, but he's like, I too was roaming the stars or whatever.
Yeah, something about staring at the stars. I don't remember.
And, like I just want to be like alone or something. And,
right.
like I don't know why it worked so well.
Yeah.
It was weird, especially since this was like just the weird thing is like this was Justice League's first villain, the Justice League by the giant starfish.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we watched rats kill a starfish, and like there's a big hero moment with Harley Quinn, and there's no reason for it.
Yeah, all the Harley. I mean, with the end, it's all like, oh, they all make the commitment that they're gonna turn back and try to save the day. But then, like, just the rat lady could have just sent all the rats, and then they win.
Yeah, it doesn't the moment still works, but like it feels pointless.
The moment works, but like when you really think about it, it's kind of pointless. Which I don't know how else they could have written that in it, like to make it work. But
I mean, we see Idris Elba with a gun killing a giant starfish that's like interdimensional or whatever.
Yeah. The polka dot guy, he was having his character arc progress pretty well, and then he had that big moment where he was like, I'm a superhero, but then...
Should just killed the rat catcher girl instead.
Yeah.
Also, they have, like, Taika Waititi as her dad. Which is, like, as Ratcatcher 1 and 2.
Right.
Which is really weird naming. And then it's just, he's in it for, like, 2 scenes, like, oh, I died of heroin. It was weird, because he said he died of his burden, like, burden? I mean, an addiction that he could, get help with.
The character writing was better. I don't think it was superb, but...
You're superb.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But it was decent.
You're decent.
I think throughout there was pretty good development with everything. There was good... It was well structured. And
well structured.
And like I said, I think the the biggest compliment I can give it is that it is very visually interesting and beautiful at times.
I was just about to say that.
It looks really good.
There's a lot of good colors. There's a lot of good...
I was really...
I'll take the mic from you. King Shark. We didn't even talk about the shark guy.
And...
Very good character development. He actually has character development. It's weird. Shut up.
We do actually see growth for the character, which is nice.
He gets like friends, and then like it's really sad because he doesn't get friends. I'm rambling.
Because he could have just been like a one-off, like, oh,
shark,
just whatever. He's a cool shark character, but like he actually like had development. He was like, oh, I don't know, not to eat friends. I don't have friends. And like, can we be friends? He's like, friends? What? I don't have friends. He also just like fell out of the top of like a giant building, landed, got shot a bunch, and he was like, I'm fine. He got mad and ate a guy, and then like the whole other army with guns were like, okay, but
the more you guys talk about this movie, the more I want to watch it. Actually,
it was pretty good. I think you would enjoy it a lot.
There's like a scene where like Idris Elba just decides to just pull random shit off his body and make a giant gun, and then he shoots it, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, like when he's just walking, he just keeps adding more, and it's like kind of.
It looks like a Nerf gun.
It was actually one of the funnier moments to me because he just kept like adding more to it. It kept getting bigger and bigger. Then he shoots, and the starfish is like, okay.
It's like, you made me mad.
He's just like this.
And there's some decent gore in this as well.
Oh, the gore is actually incredible. The part when King Shark actually rips the guys in half.
Yeah.
That one guy. That was actually a really beautiful shot with how like grotesque it was supposed to be. I think that was really well done.
Yeah, because James Gunn himself did a lot of horror films, and there's a lot of humor that's like.
I normally am a big fan of James Gunn's style and direction.
There's some dark humor in this too, which is kind of like he killed 27 children. There's like another one.
I think it fits the characters really well, and it fits the storylines really well. So
we don't want like PG-13 jokes in an R-rated film about villains that are in prison for like their whole life.
Yeah.
Being let out for like one mission, where it's like there's no point in them really completing it. Like they're not gonna just be like, oh, gosh, Fatal Winkle.
Oh man, instead of being in prison for 80 years, he'd be in prison for 70 years.
It's so weird. It's like, well, knock 10 years off your sentence. I have a lifetime sentence. Yeah. Oh, you want me for 9 years? Also, it's weird at the end of the film because like they say like they won't release the like the what is it the data file or whatever.
Oh yeah.
If like they get like their sentence gone or like they say like they're let free.
They can be let free. Yeah.
So it's like whether they're just free.
I guess. Who knows?
Because in the first film, it was like they like lost more time or whatever.
Yeah. Which
was also weird because like why would you just be like, we won't kill you if you like it was like instead of 15 years off, like maybe 30.
There were some odd narrative decisions throughout the entire first one. There were also odd decisions in this one, but
also the ending was just kind of just an ending.
Yeah, it got.
Oh, I pet a rat because they give this weird character development that Idris Elba just hates rats.
Right.
Because his dad beat him, and it's like okay.
It was a kind of sweet moment. It was like okay, fine. it gets kind of clunky narrative wise because there ends up being like more antagonists than you'd expect. Even like Amanda Waller's like supposed to be.
Well, even like in the first like half, it's like this mission's going on, and then like we'll cover randomly for like 20 minutes with Harley Quinn, this random dude.
Yeah, it
like,
was really weird.
It's like it's entertaining, but like I feel like this movie could be like 20 minutes short.
Right, it could have been quite a bit shorter. I think it could have been structured a little better, at least like throughout like everything. I will say the scene when Harley Quinn was like escaping, and like she had like all those like, flowers really around. That was probably my favorite scene in the film. That looked incredible. It was well choreographed. Really well yes, I think that was really awesome, and it was a great like way to shoot that with that character. And Margot Robbie has still been really good as Harley Quinn. Not like exceptional, but pretty darn good. Yeah, even in Birds of Prey, which was a terrible film.
I didn't see that. Which it seems like there's no plot bearing on this at all.
No, there was no reason to see that movie.
They don't even need to. They don't even bring up Joker in this one.
Yeah. I
like,
don't know.
The only thing that they could have brought up is that they broke up with like one line and just negates the entire Birds of Prey film.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, in this one, she's like, I promise myself next time I get a boyfriend
that was a good line.
And I see any red flags, I would kill him. And she's like, I don't know. You're probably thinking, why didn't I try to work on it? And I would ask why you're yelling at me. It was a pretty good job with the character, considering how she's, cuckoo.
She's not that cuckoo. She's just like insane.
All right, well.
I was saying it's Tommy Hall.
Welcome to the Contradictory Cast.
I just realized I said his full name again.
Stop doing that.
Let's call this Contradictory Cast, actually.
Why? It's a solid film.
Overall, I enjoy the Suicide Squad.
I've heard the Snyder Cut.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Because it's too long.
Snyder Cut's too long. It's only 4 hours. What else are you doing to do that?
Not watching the Snyder Cut.
What are you doing? Work?
I always keep a hot dog on me.
Just in
case these moments.
The Snyder Cut, I think, was pretty good. But it's just the pacing is terrible because, like, of what it had to be, which is fine because, like, it was set up that way. I think it was very decent. I mean, that was the first AmityCast.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know which one I like better.
I'd say I enjoy the Suicide Squad more because it's definitely more...
I never seen myself watching Suicide Squad again before because it's much less of a commitment.
Right.
It also flows pretty fast. In the middle, it kind of slows down. And
yeah, there's actually like quite a few moments that go kind of slowly.
I really enjoyed
they kind of drag a little bit.
Surprisingly, the scene that felt like really well done was like the scene where like really go undercover and just like go to like a bar.
Oh yeah,
that was actually just nice little character stuff. And also, Peacemaker just becomes a villain randomly, and like I guess it makes sense for like what he's like trying to do, but it just seems very random. And then he just kills like a character that was like
such a
in the last two movies, and like you kind of like it's just like okay, that's the end of the character.
Right, and like that was just a weird thing, and also like she like the rat girl just happened to be there to see it. Yeah. And then she was like, okay, I'm gonna run with this, and then he was like, since she was like, okay, fine, just destroy the drive. Why do you have to kill me as well? He's like, cause I'm thorough.
Doesn't want anything to happen, but it's like okay,
really
so
showing like as an antagonist. But
if this thing breaks, people are just gonna listen to this random lady that controls rats about what she's saying.
Yeah.
Also, I think they're more focused on the giant foot to starve it.
Honestly, that whole character arc was just weird to me. And
did you hear what like the first pitch for this movie was?
What?
With James Gunn, it was gonna be the Suicide Squad versus like a brainwashed Superman. What were they gonna? How are they gonna fight?
How that doesn't
call Batman again.
What? What's Bloodsport gonna do? Just make a bigger gun? Just keep making it
bigger? Well, that was that good line in the beginning. He's like, oh yeah, he's in here because he shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet.
Right, yeah, that was really cool. That's like...
I kind of want to know, like, why would you do that?
The stuff with his daughter was a little, like, kind of just thrown in.
It was a good scene, like, how they just kind of, like, went back and forth yelling at each other.
At the beginning when they were yelling, that was real, and that felt really good. I liked that. But then, like, at the end when she was like, that's my dad's. He's
it's like, you haven't been here the last 2 hours.
Like, okay, you just showed up again. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
The floating black board. That's not as good as Game of the Brave. Kidding, it's something better. At least narrative.
As a film, yeah. Overall, I
got a new kaiju though.
Technically, there's a new kaiju, I guess, with Starro the Conqueror.
Could have a whole movie where Godzilla fought that.
Hitoda. Oh man, Hitoda.
Honestly, I'd probably get like a 6 or 7.
That's the same for me. I was hesitant to give it a 7 because there's like just a lot of things that just don't quite fully bring it together for me.
6.5.
Enjoyment factor, like just purely enjoyment, it's definitely up there. It definitely increases it quite a bit.
You're up there.
Right now, I think I'm at about a 6 out of 10 for it. With an A- grade because...
I could always see myself watching it again. Much more than the first one. This is a vast improvement.
It's an extreme improvement.
And to be fair, James Gunn was given full control over this, unlike with the first film where like they lost complete control.
Right.
I don't know if the original cut was better at all. Definitely better, but I don't know if it was actually good or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't really see, like, because there were so many flaws with that first one. I don't know how that, like, it got so messed up. But well, I guess we'll never really know unless they release it. But
yeah, you never know. I'd be down. I'd be interested in seeing it.
yeah, I would be as well.
But I'm not really hopeful for it.
No.
Because I don't really know how good David Ayer is. He did like one good movie in the 90s. But
and then he was just like, oh, by the way, directing Suicide Squad.
it was such a hype movie, and it was so bad.
Yeah, I remember the hype around it for a long time. It was a huge deal. Like,
You're a huge deal. That was just the DCU is a mess.
Yeah.
Is this connected to anything? Is this gonna lean anything?
I don't know.
What's the point of this movie?
That's the main
Jay
thing.
said he wanted to do more DC stuff, but he's trying to do Marvel too. It's like Peacemaker show. Peacemaker. I'd prefer a Bloodsport show.
Yeah, I would as well. I mean, it's just
Also, The Thinker. What was that? He's like promoted as being like a part of the squad, but he's kind of like a villain, and then he just kind of dies.
yeah, I don't know.
Those scenes with like the little starfish that are on people's faces and like the gore was actually really fucking.
Those were really good.
Really good.
I really enjoyed that.
All of it was like real too.
It was really aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, fucking murder. Fellas, I don't know. I really like people being tortured.
I am a fan of Saw.
8?
Jigsaw?
Yeah.
Do you know my thoughts on Jigsaw?
I speak for the dead.
We're not talking about the Saw franchise right now.
Not again.
Again, have we talked about it before?
How about Spiral?
Yeah, we talked about Spiral, and I guess we talked about Saw a little bit in the horror franchises video.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Suicide Squad, vast
Speaking
improvement
of
over
horror.
Suicide Squad. I don't know how it fits in with the DCU at all. It's all kind of clunky. It's all a mess. I don't know if they're going to continue with that. They could. I mean, with the Snyder Cut and this, they could have a foundation for something. I have no idea. I think it's terribly done. And
I think the next film is The Batman, which is its own thing completely.
Yeah.
Which isn't fucking...
Yeah, just another Batman.
And then there's the Flash movie, which has 3 Batman in it.
Anyway, the DCEU is just getting kind of old.
Was that like a transition into 2021 old?
I don't know of a 2021 old, but I know of the film Old coming out in 2021. Came out last month.
It's not coming out.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
You made word problem. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan's an amazing filmmaker. He's made no bad films.
No.
He's a very interesting filmmaker.
Wrong. That's right.
No matter what the project
intriguing.
is, I'm at least interested in what's going to be, even though it's probably just going to be, Give me like 3 really good movies.
M. Night Shyamalan is just, he's notorious. He's very well known. He's one of the few directors that people actually like know about, like outside of like being in the film, which is really interesting. I think I noticed how like with everything he ever does, it's like, oh, from the guy who did The Sixth Sense, it's like, okay.
That was 20 years ago?
That was a while ago.
Unbreakable was like 19 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like from Sky that made Split. Make sure I like Split.
Split's not that good. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's better than Glass.
I agree with you there.
What?
I can agree with you there. There's a film, yeah.
But Old came out. It was a thing that happened, and I went and saw it, and I didn't feel disappointed or elated in any way.
I mean, I guess it was a little bit better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was actually better than I expected, but
There
still
was a
not
few
good.
like actually good scenes, like a very few.
It gets old really fast. It really drags.
I just remember like the scene when like the parents first see like the kids like older.
Yeah.
And like it's really like revealed slowly, and like just like the reactions were actually like pretty well done. And it was
Yeah.
a pretty like weird scene that made you feel uncomfy.
I think throughout there was some really good reactionary acting.
And then the scene where the parents died, like at the end, was actually like pretty sad.
Oh yeah.
But then the twist happened, and it's just like, okay, I guess this works, but like I don't really get it.
The twist works, but it's just it's way too practical, and it's just like, okay, whatever.
And the ending's just like ends on a really dumb line, which is like
saying it's not twisty enough?
it is M. Night Shyamalan. He always has twists. There's like 1 or 2 twists at the end, and then
He also has a way more important cameo this time
which
compared
was
to
cool.
usual. Yeah.
But I also don't care.
Yeah. But what were you, like that final line?
Or it's just like, you guys okay? It's like, how would you feel if you were 50 years old, but you were 6 yesterday, and your aunt's seeing you? It's like, that's very specific. I'm just asking if you're okay.
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, I liked how it ended on a note where it's like, okay, well, they have aged. And it's not just gonna like, oh, they went back to their normal age, which that would
It's just like, oh yeah, the brother and sister live, nobody else lives. And it's just like, okay, whatever.
Overall, there was a lot of creepy concepts.
Also, like 2 6-year-olds have sex, but like they're older.
Right.
Pregos.
And then the kid dies.
They're
like,
physically older, so they can't really keep up with like what their like whole body is trying to do. So then they have sex, and
then the baby dies immediately, which was really fucking creepy.
Extremely dark. It was
disturbing.
It was very
especially the mom
gruesome.
holding on to like the corpse.
Yeah.
And then the mom just dies like 5 minutes later. But in that reality is like 2 years.
It was so weird. Like, it's very disturbing. I think it did a good job in that. Does a good job at being just like a horror film. It drags for a while. The pacing isn't very good.
They did a good thing with the environment, like showing in like small ways that like it's like something's up with it, because like there's a bunch of belongings, like metal left behind rusted really fast, and like there's no fish, and it's just like
did a pretty good job at scenery setup.
But then like the whole thing was just like, oh yeah, they're just trying to solve like problems and like diseases, and it's just like, well, why do you have to murder people for that? Why would all these people just be fine with that?
I mean, the world is very overpopulated. A few deaths wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, it just seems impractical.
That's my unemotional opinion.
Shut up. I'm just kidding.
Alright.
Tommy, what were your thoughts on the film?
Overall, you didn't see Old.
Old?
Yeah.
Do you want to see it?
No.
Who would actually want to see it?
I mean, my dad seemed to want it. Also, your dad took you to it.
Yeah, because he was like, what are we going to go see? And I was like, there's Old. He was like,
Sounds
I
good.
guess.
You could have saw like.
Dude, who doesn't want to?
Look,
I don't know. It's
here's my opinion. Old, honestly, isn't that good.
very mid tier. I mean, like probably in his career films.
I guess. I don't know.
I've never ranked him.
M. Night Shyamalan's got some stinkers, man. Like, he's got some bad
This isn't like an
movies.
absolute stinker.
You seen The Happening?
No, I've heard of it though, and it sounds god awful because like he's trying to be good, but it's so bad.
It's so terrible.
Hey, don't forget about that one movie.
But Old,
The Visit. For some reason, people like that movie.
Visually looks pretty good. The Visit's fine. I don't know. It's not good, but Old is like another one of those M. Night Shyamalan movies that's very mid tier to below, like low tier. When I watch it, it's just like I'm not blown away. I'm not really.
I'll blow you away.
I can't really get too invested into it, and I don't think that has any like bias to do with him because I don't dislike M. Night Shyamalan. And I don't like think his movies are like generally terrible. I just think he has some bad ones. Overall, there's just not much to enjoy for me. I just think that it just isn't incredibly done. It isn't like
the people I
extremely
saw
well crafted.
afterwards is like, I mean, it delivers on its concept. It's a fine first watch, but like I never really want to watch it again.
Yeah, it's not. It's also not super memorable. Like I think the trailer and like the build up and the marketing is more memorable than the film itself, at least to me.
And this movie was delayed a year, so it got a little old.
They did a great job with it is very disturbing,
Thank you.
and it definitely succeeded at that. It's just overall, I definitely couldn't see myself wanting to return to it. I didn't think it was like terrible.
Also, the weird.
My initial rating was 4 out of 10, and I think I'm probably gonna stick to that.
Maybe when we get older, it might get better.
Yeah, Tommy is just lighting up the
It'll
stage.
age like
He's
fine
here till
wine.
Friday, by the way.
Also, the villain, the random dude that just kind of like was just going to kill people. It's
Yeah.
just like, I guess it made sense, but then just kind of kill him. It's just kind of like, why?
Yeah, I mean, the character, like, with any of, like, the character development, it was all just kind of this happens, and there was not much structure with all that. The overall, and, like, it only takes place, like, on a beach, and, like, what happens over this, like, span of time, it felt way slower, and it felt like a much longer time than it actually was.
I'm like on the beach. Everything just wouldn't, it just kept going. It just felt really slow.
I didn't really get attached to any characters. I didn't, like,
And like the
feel
kid
for any
actors,
of them.
a lot of the actors were kind of like weird.
Yeah, like, a lot of the acting was just, like,
Also, there was like a weird thing in logic where like they literally like cut this tumor out of this woman and she's completely fine. Like then this guy like gets stabbed like 10 times, isn't healed at all. It's just like,
yeah, I mean, I like the interesting twist where they're trying to, like, operate on the person, and, like, it keeps healing up too fast as they're trying to,
yeah,
like...
that was interesting. It was kind
That was interesting. I mean, the whole thing with, like, yeah, with all of the different injuries, how they heal really quickly because of, like, the time acceleration. I don't know how much... I didn't, like, done any math on it, but some of the time didn't really seem to, like, match up, because supposedly an hour was...
It seemed like the adults are aging a lot slower than the kids.
Yeah.
Which I guess, like, yeah, they're developing, like, through teenage years and whatnot.
Right.
And, like, adults kind of, like...
It still didn't seem quite right. I don't know. I mean, I think, like, it just kind of had to work for narrative structure-wise, which is fine. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices like that with your concept.
Yeah, and then that woman died that was, like, in the beginning that they found, and, like, that black guy was there. But then, like, I guess he was there, like, a whole day, and he just looked the same.
Yeah.
He didn't really noticeably age.
I don't...
Very weird.
And also, none of the characters really got me invested. I don't think any of the acting elevated it. I don't think it really dragged
I kind of like
it down.
the dad.
Yeah, he was alright.
And like maybe it's just because the actors seem pretty chill.
I think overall it wasn't very impressive, just on any visual or narrative level.
Location was pretty cool, pretty.
Yeah,
pretty, but
that was fine.
Yeah, and then that for just being in like one location pretty much the whole time, it wasn't like it didn't get like super boring or anything.
Right.
I don't think this is like really great or anything, but I think what Shyamalan wanted to do, he did. Yeah. I just feel like I feel like with the concept he could have done a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool concept that I think it leaves a little more to be desired. What I will say about M. Night Shyamalan is that he does what he wants to do, and like I know that he self-funded this one.
He did,
and a lot of his other movies because he's like I'm the one coming up with these weird ideas. I want to be.
Yeah, I'm really glad like this movie like exists because like
right. He's like, I want to be the one taking the risk. I don't want other people to have to like fund something when I'm trying to make this super weird movie, which I really respect. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And like, I'm definitely fine with it. Like, I didn't like hate it. Like, it was fine.
This movie I wasn't really super hyped.
But it's not like I'm gonna like buy it on home media or like try to revisit it at all.
You're not gonna add it to your M. Night Shyamalan collection.
I don't have an M. Night Shyamalan collection, and I never will. I respect him, but
he's already making 2 more movies.
Yeah.
Because he got like Universal wanted 3 new, specifically thrillers.
Right.
M. Night Shyamalan. This was the first one.
Right. Which is like.
He also has that show. It's like Servant.
Yeah.
And apparently it's really good.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
It's on like Apple TV. Like
I don't know. I mean, he's a fabulous writer, but if he's rushed in any way, I don't think it's gonna be like.
I think he definitely like if he has too much control, he's just gonna make it too weird.
Right.
And it's just gonna be like. What?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just he's an interesting guy and he makes interesting films, and they're not terrible. They're not always the best written, but at least they have interesting concepts and they deliver on that almost every time. It's definitely kind of like a risk style movie. It's like, oh, okay, like see if people like it, and I think it has an audience. It definitely has an audience. Some people will enjoy it. Will have enjoyed it. I don't know. It's already been out for a month, so.
Been out for a month.
Almost, not quite.
Really? Yeah, I kind of wanted to see it, and I like never got around to it. It was just a movie I didn't really care if I saw or not.
Right.
It was a new movie, so it's kind of like maybe, but yeah.
It's just like whatever. Overall, it's just kind of meh.
I think in the end, I'd recommend Suicide Squad for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's on HBO Max. It's in theaters, so either way you want to watch it.
The Suicide Squad, I think, delivers like in pretty much every way that you could ask it to.
The trailer's made it look a lot worse.
Yeah.
I was not excited at all.
No, I wasn't excited for it.
Then again, I don't think the first Guardians had a good trailer either. I wasn't excited for it.
That's true.
He's really good at just kind of going really comic booky and making us like these characters a lot.
Right.
And this one I'd recommend if you're interested, but if not, you can skip it.
Right. The Suicide Squad, I think, is it does everything pretty much right. It's a fun watch. It's very interesting. Overall enjoyable. Old is like it doesn't have as much enjoyable aspects, but I mean, if you want to check it out, if you're into weird, disturbing horror movies, then it definitely would probably be worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mom's worth a watch.
Hey, his mom watches. Okay. Tommy Hall.
Stop doing that.
Okay, Matthew Miller.
Stop doing that.
Hey, don't forget Ellis Fest.
Moving to Florida.
But anyways, guys, thank you for
He's
going to school. He's not moving. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of AmityCast. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can listen to.
People don't enjoy your podcast.
You're nice, man.
I'm just kidding.
So you can check out all the other ones that we upload. Like
Don't forget
and
to
comment
follow
your
Tommy.
thoughts. Comment your thoughts on the cast and yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought.
Cancer Timmy on Instagram.
Hello? Give me like 1 minute. Okay.
End it.
Wait. What, did you say the outro?
Follow
Yeah.
Cancer Timmy on Instagram.
Movie?
This is a terrible ending. Oh no. Oh my god, why? Oh, why?
Calm down, Buster.